Welcome. Today we're talking about immunities and back to school. And I know the last year or so has been a little crazy, just living life and getting ourselves back to a place of well-being, a place of community, should we say. So I know this is more back to school because I was making this presentation for our kids, our families that just want to be feel safe at school. But if you're an adult and just living life, going shopping, just or even just going back to work. I mean, if you haven't been back to work in a while and you're required to go back to work, just giving you a peace of mind to know that hey, you have an immune system. Let's make sure that that immune system is working properly, and there are ways and things that we can do to help our immune system. So just know that that is the importance here. You know, wherever you stand on your health or how you feel about your health, I want to help empower you that there are things that you can do to help your health, and likewise there are things that you can do to hinder your immune system. So just know that peace of mind is important as we get back to school, get back to life, and there are ways that we can have that peace of mind as well. So as we get started here, just know that the immune response has a Goldilocks zone. You don't want too much, you don't want too little. And if you see the center circle there, it says immune homeostasis. And homeostasis is a place that's just right. And our body has this mechanism that we don't want too much, don't want too little. And so it's want it just right. So that's homeostasis. Think of homeostasis like a thermostat, where if you feel it getting too low, the thermostat kicks on and raise the temperature. Or if it gets too high, it kicks on and lowers the temperature. So, and your immune response is the same way. And so, inflammation is one of those things that affects our immune system. So, too much inflammation, it's not going to work right, or too little inflammation. So, you want these things just right. So, the immune response is always working. And so, if you go into a room full of bacteria and viruses, hey, you want to kick on, right? Or if you walk out of the room into a room that has no immune responses, it kicks off. Similar to our bodies in a state of cooling or heating. If you walk into a cold room, what's your body going to do? It wants to heat up, so it's going to shiver and shake and to heat up. If you walk into a hot area or a hot room, it's going to start perspiring, start sweating to cool it down. So that's the homeostasis, and all this is dictated by by the nerve system. So immune function, the process we just talked about before, the shivering, the sweating, they're all controlled by the central nerve system, and that's where chiropractic comes into play. So I want to make sure that, hey, you're getting your chiropractic care. You're taking good care of yourself chiropractically to start with. Now, there are other ways on this video here that we're going to show you. We offer here in the office that we do ourselves to help keep our immune system functioning properly. So you want the Goldilocks zone, right? You don't want to be too much. You don't want to be too little. You want to be just right. So just keep that in mind as we go forward here, the Goldilocks zone of the immune system. So we also have the immune system, think of it as a complete system. It's going, any kind of invader that it perceives, it's going to attack. It's going for it. Any viruses, bacteria, molds, whatever your body pathogen your body takes in, it's going to go for it. It's going to attack it because guess what? Your body don't want to hurt itself. So, and then you also see their foods. The IgG response can happen by foods we eat. And it could be healthy foods that you think are healthy, but your body, everybody's body's differently, right? Like snowflakes, we're all a little different. So your body may perceive a healthy food as a toxin, much less the non-healthy foods we'll talk about here more in a little while. So just know that you don't want your nervous system distracted. You don't want your immune system distracted. You want properly functioning nerve system, we want a properly functioning immune system. So hey, when you do come in contact with these bad pathogens, it can attack them. So it's not fighting on two fronts per se. You're not fighting on a front that, hey, I thought this food was healthy for me, it's going to fight that off. Or it's going to fight off a front, hey, it's a pathogen, let's fight that off. You want them fighting on the same front the whole time. So just know that these are ways to help the immune function and to keep it functioning properly. And then the big virus that we hear about today is, and I'm not necessarily worried about the virus itself, it's the response to the virus that's really getting the news. And you've probably heard this term before, the cytokine storm. And so cytokines aren't necessarily a bad thing. Too much is a bad thing. It's kind of like rainfall. Well, we all need rain, right? So you don't want too much rain, which causes a flood. So it's like the cytokine storm. You want cytokines in your body because that's your body's way of communicating here to hey, say something's not right. Too much is the problem. So just know that when your body is fighting, is it creating the cytokine storm, or is it just, fighting the virus and expelling it? Or is it getting to this IgG responses with our foods we eat, with our environmentals like the mold and other things that could be sensitive to us that we're having trouble with? And if you don't know, if you never had a sensitivity test, food sensitivity test, you don't know these things. Here at the office, what's something that we do here, we do sensitivity tests just to realize, hey, what is your body sensitive to? Like I said before, everybody's different. And we want to make sure your body is able to fight the fight and not fight a side war, with the foods, with say a mold or even allergies, So we want to make sure your body is getting the bad pathogens and not necessarily something that's not as bad as we think it is. So just know that's just a little overview of the cytokine storm, because everybody's worried about the cytokine storm. That's what's getting people in the hospital. That's what's keeping people in the hospital, as a matter of fact. So I know this is a bad thing, but if your nervous system, which controls your immune system, is functioning properly, you can get this under control. And that's one way to do it as well. So talking about the foods, I said the food sensitivity test is something that we do at the office. And so let's just say you eat a bad food. And there are bad foods out there, so ones that are full of sugar, and they're not good for us. And your body's going to have a response to that. Or it could be a healthy food. A healthy food could be something like avocados or eggs. And I'll give you my personal story about, I thought I like eggs. I eat eggs, but I'm sensitive to eggs. I found that through the food sensitivity test. I would eat eggs most days because I like eggs, but once I realized I shouldn't be eating eggs, I don't eat eggs as much. And there's a rotation of foods. If you find out you're sensitive to a food that could be increasing your inflammation, you don't want to eat as much. And a healthy food that I found out for myself is that way is eggs, or even almonds, as a matter of fact, for myself. So if I want to eat these, I eat eggs about once a week now, just so I don't keep bombarding my immune system, which is creating an IgG response, which is my body's going to attack that like it's a bad thing. So when you eat foods, you want to eat foods that are healthy for you, eat foods that are nutritious for you. And if you eat a bad food, let's say like for me, eggs, eat it every few days. A food rotation. That's the important part here is if you keep consuming these foods, your bodies keep fighting the IgG response and not the bacteria or the virus. The point is, we want to make sure our body's fighting the bad pathogens, not some food response. So just keep that in mind as well. And then mitochondria. If you never heard of mitochondria, that's what gives you energy. That's the powerhouse of the cell. And it's also the hub for the innate immunity. Innate immunity we'll talk about here later is your first response. And so that's dictated by your mitochondria. And so not only does mitochondria help with energy, it also helps the immune system. So you want to make sure that your mitochondria are healthy and strong. And from the age 30 on, they're decreasing, unfortunately. And that's why a lot of the people that we know that have perished from viruses and bacteria or even the common cold have been elderly folks, because they don't have this innate immune response that happens so quick. It's delayed response. So you want to make sure your mitochondria are healthy. And there's a way in this office that will help with that is the Edison pack. So the Edison pack helps the mitochondria with the B vitamins. A healthy clinical dose of B vitamins are in the Edison pack, as well as D-ribose, L-carnitine, CoQ10, which support the mitochondria, actually feeds the mitochondria. So you want to make sure, if you're taking a multivitamin, number one, that it's a good clinical doses of vitamins. You can get vitamins, a dime a dozen, all over the place. A good quality clinical dose of vitamins is recommended, not just any old vitamin. So, to get that, go to professional brand. Professional brands have that. We have a great professional brand here with the Well-Aligned Group, and it's the Edison pack. So it has your clinical doses of vitamins. The form is natural. There are no fillers. So those are ways to help support the mitochondria, the immune function as well. And if you've watched my videos before, and I'm big on D3, vitamin D3. So, and we're knowing now that it's not just a vitamin. It acts as a hormone inside the body. Vitamin D3 helps control over 900 gene functions. It helps with anti-inflammatory responses, antioxidant responses. Hey, even neuroprotective properties. It helps support the immune system in all those ways. And then, like I was saying earlier, then innate response is your fast-acting, hey, attack it now response. Helps modulate that. It also helps the adaptive immune response. So the adaptive immune response is the response of something that you've already been in contact with. It's like a memory. Okay, I know that's bad because I've seen it before. So when you see adaptive immune response, that's what that's saying. Is, hey, I've seen it before, let's go get it. The innate immune response is, hey, let's get it now, let's go attack it. So in both of these ways help fight any pathogen. They're both modulated by vitamin D3. So without vitamin D3 or low vitamin D3, you're going to have issues. Now that's another test we do at the office, is vitamin D3 testing. And the reason for that is, what's your number? Your number is very important. I've had patients come back from getting elsewhere or even taking here at the office, and the number's 26, 32. And I've been told that, they said that was good. And I'm like, no, that is not good. The doctors that I listen to, the doctors that I follow, you want your vitamin D3 level around 80. It could be a little higher, which would be fine. 80 is a good number of vitamin D3. And so there are lots of things that affect our vitamin D3 levels as well. You should get in the sun. But you don't want to get in the sun too much where you're having some issues with your skin. So, hey, get in the sun, but also supplement vitamin D3. And you want the D3 with the K. And the reason for the K is when you take vitamin D3, you're going to absorb more calcium. The K, the vitamin K the vitamin we offer here, there's a K in it. The K puts the calcium that you're going to absorb into the bone. You don't want this calcium floating around, clogging your arteries or any other soft tissue going there. You want to go to the bone, so help strengthen the bone. So D3 with K is vital. So, and then, like I was saying earlier, you want to test and not guess. We can, I need D3. Yeah, I'm going to say everybody needs D3 for sure. But then again, we're guessing unless we're testing. So that's a test we do here at the office, just to make sure that, hey, your number is in the 80 range, not in the 30 range you see here. Like I was saying before, most people, that's a good number, the 36 there. That is not good. You want 80, definitely 50 and above. More 80 is what I've been hearing about from doctors that I follow and talk with. And then here's another test that we offer here, the DNA test. That just lets you know what's your DNA, what controls your body is your DNA, right? So how is your DNA functioning? How is your DNA set up? You know, as a matter of fact, I have this VDR gene. That's why I don't absorb vitamin D properly. So I take more vitamin D. You know, I recommend 5,000 to most folks, everybody, but most folks, that may be good for. But I have the VDR gene from my DNA test that tells me, hey, I need to take more because I'm not absorbing it properly. So just know that you want to test these things so you know. So that's the importance of the DNA test. That's the importance of the vitamin D testing. So you know your number and you know how your body is responding to it. So here's a product that I recommend at the office, the D3 with the K in it, because the K puts the calcium that you're going to absorb into the body. And like I was saying before, vitamin D3 helps control over 900 gene functions. And so the lower the number, the more issues you're going to have, not only with the immune system, but overall health. And so we want to make sure that you're healthy, that you're able to fight off things and live life. Once again, getting back to school, getting back to life, and being healthy. So, you know, as we talk with other professionals, I even have some nurses and other doctors that I talk with, hey, how do you help inflammation? So you're talking about this cytokine storm and you got to control it. How are you helping that? You know, a good, easy way to do it is fish oils. Fish oils, the omega-3s, help lower inflammation. A lot of us have too many omega-6s, so we're going to get, a lot of times we're inverse. We have more omega-6s than omega-3s. Well, it should be more omega-3s than omega-6s, which is going to mess up our inflammation. It's going to make it higher. So, and then you test. Once again, you want to test, not guess. So you test your inflammation levels with the HSCRP to see where you are. Anything over 1 is bad. You don't want to be over 1. You want to be less than 1. So you take your fish oils. And in our office, we also have E-Flam X, which also has your white willow bark, your boswellia, and your turmeric to help lower inflammation and get it back under the 1 so you can be healthy. Your body's not fighting off two different fronts. It's on one front fighting, as we said to start the presentation, the Goldilocks zone. Keep your inflammation in the Goldilocks zone there. Not too little, not too much there. So that's why we do that. So if we start to wrap this up, you get some ideas of, hey, you know, I want my immune system functioning properly. I want to be able to live life. And that's what we all about here at West Point Family Chiropractic is enjoying life and living life and not being in fear. So, you know, the immune pack here, I view this as like a backpack you put on, or a cape Superman puts on, just to make sure he's strong and and able to fight and live life courageously. You know, so it starts with the chiropractic care. So if you're not getting adjusted, you got to start getting adjusted regular, and that depends on your chiropractor. So, you know, so getting adjusted is important. Also, as we said before, there's other ways to help the immune system to get it ready, and that's with your Edison pack, which we said helps control your mitochondria, helps just to boost it, get your B vitamins, helps you with your energy levels. So just know the Edison pack is a good way to start. Vitamin D3, you know, you want your vitamin D levels high, like we said before, around 80. Hey, E plus was your omega-3s, helps anti-inflammation. And don't forget to detox. If you've never detoxed, you probably have bunches or tons of chemicals in you. And a lot of these heavy metals and hazard chemicals act as free radicals. And that's why when you get your glutathione levels high, because that just gets them out. That cleans up any toxins that get in your body. And the Titanium Immune Pro, something that I take. I take these supplements, this pack of supplements daily. So just know it's something that I recommend, but I also do it myself. And Titanium Immune Pro, which you see here, has ingredients that if you look at any of these ingredients up, the vitamin A, C, zinc, the olive leaf extract, barbarium, rosemary oil, any of these have tons of articles on the antiviral, antibacterial properties of these vitamins. So just know, if you've watched this video and you're interested in to getting the proper care that you need or getting the vitamins that you need, I'm Dr. Brenton Jones, West Point Family Chiropractic. You can always come by sis at 1106 3rd Avenue or call us 706-645-1033. And just know we're here for you. We want you to be healthy. We want you to live life courageously and not in fear. So those are some ways that I take good care of myself, my family, and I want to offer that to you and let you know you should have confidence to be able to walk outside. Enjoy. See you soon.